Hi, y'all. Welcome to what am calling Fit Friday. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, wait, it isn't today Saturday, not Friday? And you are absolutely right. So I had a little hiccup yesterday, but here we are. Here I am showing up strong, y'all. I had some grit. I'm in my car. I said, I'm going to do this video and encourage them. That's what we do, right? We show up even if it's not on the day we originally planned. So here I am with my grit, my being tenacious. I'm just trying to keep you all on your toes. Who needs predictability anyway? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just trying to make Friday happen on a different day, because y'all know by Sunday we like, oh, I wish it was Friday. So here we go. So anyway, why am I here? Well, first, let's do first things first. Let me introduce myself. Now, you might have looked at my LinkedIn. I know I'm working on it. But you might be saying, who is this lady? And why should I listen to her? Well, I want to introduce myself before I get into Fit Friday. And that's a great question. Here is what you should know, because we're going to be spending Fridays together, at least 15 minutes, right? So one, I am a business leader. I am Latrice Bartley, and I have over a decade experience in the administrative field. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur and AI consultant who blends traditional practices with the latest in AI technology so that I can streamline processes for my clients while yet keeping that personal touch. I love all things ethical AI. Here's a unique fact about me. I was a court reporter. I know, the one in the courtroom typing. Yep, did that for 16 years as well. So managed DAs. I am passionate about executive administration because I believe it's such an important role, and you have such a unique opportunity to see all the problems, right? And become the solution. But what else do I do? Well, just a couple of more things. I am the founder and I'm a coach. I'm also the founder of E3 Consulting Agency and Purposefully Living, where I help businesses and teams get fit, focused, intentional, and innovative, and tenacious in their operations. I am an advocate, a certified wellness coach. I advocate for you getting fit. I'm passionate about promoting resilience, innovation, and excellence, not just in business, but in life, y'all. So on a personal note, I'm a devoted wife, a homeschooling mom of three, a marathoner, and I never turn down a good red velvet cake, okay? Life is a balancing act, but I'm here to help you find that sweet spot. So now, as a thought leader, I believe that one of my superpowers is encouragement. And that's why Fit Friday is so important. We live in a time, y'all, where we're losing the human touch. People don't even want to speak anymore. They'd rather text. Remember when we used to get on the elevator and we would say, good morning? Or was that just me? But now we often don't say anything. But I believe showing up with kindness and encouragement is powerful. Did you hear me? Let me say it again. Showing up with kindness and encouragement is powerful. Encouragement isn't something is something we often minimize, but it has the power to change the trajectory of someone's day. It can de-escalate an argument, lift someone's spirits, and remind them that they're not alone. And the best part, y'all, you ready? Are you ready? Encouragement is free. Free 99. It is as simple as showing up with a smile, showing up with some compassion, or showing concern when you notice someone's absence. Even if you really did miss them, just make the people feel good. Come on now. So listen, I said all that to say that's who I am. Nice to meet you, and welcome to Fit Friday Saturday. It's not just Fit Friday is something I'm passionate about, and I mean passionate. Why? Because it's not just getting you fit in leadership, but it's reminding you and encouraging you to encourage others around you, whether it's a team member, a colleague, even that employee who really gets on your nerves. Encouragement is powerful. And the truth really is we need to use it more. And guess what? Getting fit is all about mindset. It's being focused on the goal, intentional in your actions, and tenacious in your pursuit. And this is framework that I use throughout my business. But here's what I really want you to know. It's important to rest and refuel. That is going to help you get fit. So I am here every Friday for 15 minutes to provide you encouragement. Now, before we dive into today's topic, I want to talk about something that's deeply important, and it ties to our topic, and it's the art of refueling and renewing your mind. So, our acronym that we're going to use, a part of the topic, is REST. And just like a car needs fuel to keep going, our minds and spirits needs regular renewal to stay strong. So the R is refuel. For me, refueling and renewing comes through prayer or being a part of my church community, staying connected with my faith. I am a woman who believes in Christ, and my faith is at the core of everything I do. I cannot show up fully without first showing up in my faith. So here's what I want you to know. For me, what does that look like? Every morning, I start my day with prayer. I pray over my team. I pray over my clients that I'm working with, and the work that God has given me to do. Is how I make sure my mind is clear, my heart is aligned, and that I can be the best version of myself for those that I serve. I also like to refuel by reading and traveling, but above all, it's my faith that grounds me and guides me. So why am I sharing that? Because the R in rest is so important. So however you choose to recharge, whether it's through prayer, community, or some other practice, it's vital to find what fuels you so you can show up with purpose and strength each day. So, now that we are acquainted, yes, we are acquainted, let's dive in today's Fit Friday topic, okay? So every Friday, or maybe a surprise Thursday or Saturday like today, we are going to have a topic where I'm providing you some encouragement, where I am encouraging you to focus. Yes, get focused, intentional, and tenacious in your leadership journey. Yes, getting fit with purpose in your leadership journey. Did you hear? Now I know you might be thinking, maybe some of you are saying, Latrice, I'm not a leader. I disagree. Because sometimes we think that leadership requires a title. You know, CEO, director of, entrepreneur, but it doesn't. It's not just about a title for you to be a leader, but you can be a leader working the front line. You can be a leader homeschooling those change ages. It's all about how you show up. So today we are talking about, can y'all guess? Come on, showing up with purpose and how to make every moment count as leaders. So let's start talking about what does it look like? Showing up isn't just walking into a room, but doing so with purpose. And we're coming to E, expectation, ready to influence and impact others positively. So, what does that look like? I think about in my tenure way back as an executive assistant. Whoo, I was nervous day one. And you know what happened? Let me tell you, y'all, it was a lot. And I remember being so nervous, like, oh my goodness. I was coming in a very unique situation. And hear me, this is gonna lead us into our topic. It was unique in the sense that I was hired, and my at the time I was working for the CFO, and she was gonna be out for 3 months. Yes, I got hired. I'm starting, but my boss won't be there for 3 months. So of course we had training and all the things, right? And so I remember them saying, "Oh, you should brush up on your Microsoft skills, and you can do after training, just brush up on some of your skills." But I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a tea. You want the tea? So the word was going around that the position I had, a couple of people had before me. So in other words, it was a little bit of a rotating seat, right? And so I began to think, Because naturally, I'm just being honest, I'm a thought leader. I've always shown up. Now, that doesn't mean I'm perfect. No. But for the most time, I know that when I show up, I want to impact people, influence people for good. So I remember thinking, I'm kind of hearing, and of course, people giving me the look. And so I thought, okay, if this is my first time being executive assistant in the C-suite, and from what I can gather, this is a very heavy position. Should I be working on Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, or should I be trying to find some problems? Which I think the answer was. So you know what I did? Just that. I remember I was told, hey, you have a resource here. And so I called up my resource and I looked at the org chart and I said, hey, I would like to get a meeting with my executive's direct reports. And he looked at me like, say what now? Why? And I said, because I have something to say. And I kind of held my breath because I know he was like, girl, because these are some very busy people. But you know what? He coordinated the meeting because I had prayed before I got there. And I remember walking into that meeting and they did not look happy. He said, hey, you're going to have to go to their floor. They're not going to come up here, but you have about 20 minutes apiece. And I think it was six of her direct reports at that time. And so you know what I did? I showed up. I introduced myself. I sat down. They did not look happy. And I said, hello, my name is Latrice Bartley. How are you? I am the new executive assistant to, and I mentioned my boss's name. And I said, I am here to find out what is going wrong in your area. How can I be a liaison? How can I help you do better work in your department? And they said, say what now? I said, yeah, tell me your problems. And they looked at me like I was crazy, but guess what? I got a notebook full of problems. And I did that meeting, and then the next meeting, and then the next meeting. And I went to my desk and looked at all the problems and began to pray and say, okay, how can I become the solution? What am I saying? It's how you show up. Sometimes you have to do things that just don't seem to fit the mold. Yes, as an executive assistant, who am I to go and ask for a meeting with the director? But I believed that it was how I showed up. I knew once I got in the room, I went him over, and I did. We had a great working relationship. So I want you to know that it matters. The expectation, right? It matters that you are really showing up with confidence and courage, right? And so, as I mentioned earlier, for me, when we're talking about showing up, you need rest. You need to renew and refill, but you also have to show up with expectation. You want to have that courage and that confidence to say, I can do this. I'm going to listen. If I'm here, if it's coming to me, this is where I'm supposed to be, right? And so sometimes it's just half of the battle really is showing up. And I'm so serious. All right. So that's an example for me how I had to just do something. If I could say, do the unexpected, right? And so why am I saying that? Because when we think about showing up, as I mentioned, it's not just walking through, if I could say, a door. No, it's how you come. It's the approach you take to your day's expectations, how you drive, how you walk, talk, act. When you have expectations, you show up different. You expect that something different is going to happen. But remember, it begins with you. Now, S is surrender to the season. Whether the contracts are slow, health issues, transitions, you may or not, things may not be going well, but surrender to the process. See obstacles as opportunities. It's all about mindset shift, right? Surrendering does not mean defeat. It means accepting where you are and pulling the jewels for your journey. And then next, when we're talking about rest, T, trust the process. Oh, it's so important. The process, y'all, is essential. It's potent to our leadership roles and our personal growth. Trusting the process is vital. And so why am I saying this? Surrendering, as we just talked about, allows you to rest and see what you need to see. You can see things more clearly when you're not fighting it. But it's not about giving up, right? It's recognizing that where I am is where I am, and I'm going to find the best path forward. So I wanted to encourage you today to rest so you can show up. You got to refuel. You got to have some expectation. You're going to surrender to the process, and you're going to trust the process. You're going to surrender to that season. So what am I saying? You going to get fit? Yes. And here's something I want you to know. Being unfit is a starting point for growth. Here's a fun fact. You have to recognize you got to be able to admit you're unfit to get fit. Being unfit, again, is an opportunity. It is the starting point for becoming something else. And here's what I want you to know. Connect this idea physically and professionally, okay? Whether you're launching a new product, hiring a new employee, rebranding, whatever it is, you have to get focused, intentional, and tenacious. Even if you're taking care of your physical body, the reality is once you've reached your goal or lost the weight, you can't just stop. You're going to be back in that same spot, right? It's showing up every day, whether it's to the treadmill, to the office, to new technology. But I wanted to encourage you that expectation is essential. Surrendering to that season is essential, and trusting the process is essential. So guess what? I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Remember, every step of the journey counts. And together, on Friday, we will get focused, intentional, and tenacious. And I know I went a little over, but I wanted to introduce myself. So, listen, have a wonderful Saturday. Get fit. But remember, how did we get fit? We're going to rest. And I wanted you to hear that. I know that might sound like, okay, but I'm supposed to be doing something, but you said rest. But it's not always what you do as it is how you do, right? It doesn't mean necessarily that you have to work harder. Maybe you need to work smarter. Maybe you really do need to take a nap, not go to that computer. Remember, I love to say this whenever I'm training on AI. You know, sometimes my clients get so overwhelmed, and the reality is they're looking at so many things. And I love to say that the gym is filled with all this great equipment that does such great things for our body. But how many of y'all go in that gym and use 22 pieces of equipment? No, we take one or two machines. We show up one day at a time, one step at a time. And it's the same thing that you're going to do on your fit journey, wherever you are. So, I'm your girl, Latrice Bartley. I promise you next week I'll be here on Friday and not Saturday. But I said I am going to show this grit. I'm going to practice what I preach. So that's why I am in my car showing up, giving you this encouragement because I believe that Fit Friday is going to be some jewels for our journey. So see you next week. Bye.